Hey YouTube, it's Black Barbie, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make clip-in extensions. Now this is the finished look, so if you want this look, stay tuned. Okay, the first thing we're going to be using is the Milky Way Indian hair in Indian Deep 8 inches, and this is what the hair looks like straight, and it's a number 1. And this is what the hair looks like wet. Now normally I wet the hair before I put it in my head because I don't like to put the hair in my hair and then wet it because it's just my hair does not react well to water at all. So this is everything you're going to need, starting from the hair itself. And also you're going to need some thread, and I got this from the dollar store. Also you're going to need those size needles because the other one does not fit through the hole of the wig clips. You're going to need the wig clips, you're going to need the scissors, and you're going to need a lighter. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is comb our hair to the back. You want to comb it all to the back. Then you're going to part your hair where you're going to place the clip, because you have to measure it first before you actually sew anything onto the weft. You need to measure the weft first. So you're going to part it like such, and you're going to measure it. And after you measure it, you're going to cut it. So as you can see, I'm actually clipping it on, but you measure it just like such, and then you cut it at the end. So, and that's what it looks like once it's actually in your head. So if you want to get this, stay tuned. Okay, so you're going to start with your thread and your needle. You're going to go ahead and push the thread through the needle. And you're going to pull it all the way through. Normally I like to make it really long, but if you make it too long, it'll tangle when you're trying to put it through the wig clip, so don't make it too long. But you're going to pull it all the way through so it could be double threaded, and you're going to cut where that thread ends. After you cut it, you're going to tie those ends into a knot. Normally I tie like 2 or 3 knots just to make sure it don't come loose. Okay, then you're going to cut the ends. Don't cut it too close because then you'll cut the knot, but that's what it should look like. Okay, now you take your weft and you take your wig clip. Make sure when you take your wig clip, you open and close it to make sure it works. And also make sure you put it on the right side also, because if you put it on the wrong side, you won't be able to clip it onto your hair and you have to take it off and do it over. I've done that a few times, but just make sure it's on the right side. And you'll know if it's on the right side because the little back piece will be in the back and the clips will actually be in the front when you open it. Okay, so now we're going to start by taking the needle and we're going to put the needle inside of that very first hole. And you're going to bring it all the way through, but don't pull the thread, the very last piece of the thread, through the hole. You're going to get it very close to the hole, and I'm going to show you what I'm about to do. And you see that little excess piece right there? You stick the needle through the hole that you tied, and you pull it through to make a knot. And you pull it really tight so that the clips is secure to the weft. And you're going to keep doing that until it starts to get hard to go through the hole. And I'll show you what to do after you get to the last hole. And normally I go through the same direction. I don't switch directions. I go through the outside and come in through the inside. And I just keep pulling it through and just repeat this. Okay, now we're going to start with the second hole. You don't have to cut the thread in order to start the second hole. You just go right on to it. And we're going to do this. Normally, you can go through each hole about 7-8 times and you'll be good to go. I just like to be on the safe side, so I just go until I can't go no more. I just cut those extra strings that was hanging from the thread. Okay, now we're on the third hole and you're going to repeat the same process. Okay, so now we're on the last hole, and that's the hole that you have to make sure you have enough thread in there, because that's what's going to hold everything in place. The last thing you need to happen is for it to unravel. So in order to secure the thread in place, before you pull through the last loop, just like when you started, you're going to make it into a knot. And then normally after I tie my first knot, I go through it again, and then I just pick up a little thread and I just make another knot. So normally I do 2 to 3 knots just to be on the safe side. And another pointer, whenever you're sewing on your track, whenever you're sewing on your web, make sure you always start on the corner. Never start in the inside, always start on the end. And you're just going to repeat the same process with the other end. The same exact process, tie your knot, and make sure when you go through the first time you tie a knot so that the thread does not pull all the way through. And that's what the finished look looks like. Now you have the option of adding another track in the middle. I'm good with just this because it'll stay in. But if you're going to be putting them all over your head, it's good to add more clips in the middle. And the next step you're going to do is, I usually put mine in as I make them. And then I measure it again, of course. And these are already made though. But I make mine as I go, pretty much. So you're going to measure it again until you finish. And I think I put about 5 tracks in. I'm not sure. At the end of the video, I did not have my hair like this because of the fact that I did not know how to do the other side of my head. I cannot get it to like wave up at all. So that's why I ended up flat ironing it and just curling it with the curling iron. Because this is what it was looking like and I just did not like it. But this is what I ended up doing to it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.